Okay, welcome back to the next video. Today we're going to be talking about, or I guess reviewing, how to write a name from a formula. So, first thing we have to do is look at the formula we're given. So at the top one here, we got Na2S. So first thing we're going to do is identify that this is a binary ionic compound because it has two elements. And when it has two elements, all that we have to do is write them out and change the ending to "ide." So Na is sodium, and S is sulfur. So what we have to do is change the ending of the sulfur to "ide." So that's going to be sodium sulfide for that. Next, we have FeCl2. So we identify this as the same thing. It is a binary ionic compound. What makes this different is that iron is going to be a transition metal. So when we have a transition metal, don't forget we're using Roman numerals to tell the charge of the transition metal. So in this case, iron's charge is going to be dependent on the anion that we have. So we have chlorine and we have two of them. Well, chlorine normally takes a -1 charge. So if we have two chlorines at -1 each, our overall negative charge is 2-. So that means the charge of the iron has to be 2+. So when we write the name, we're going to have Roman numerals 2 in the name. So we're going to write iron, and then we're going to have our Roman numeral for 2. That's not supposed to be a hashtag. It's supposed to be a 2 I's, but you know, I got a scuff set up here. Iron 2 chloride. For that. Okay, going down. Now we have a polyatomic ion. So for polyatomic ions, when we name their compounds, we just don't change anything. We just keep whatever the polyatomic ion is. Now we have PO2. We have to identify what that is. The base of PO2 is going to be phosphate, which is PO4. That's our phosphate. So you need to look in your notebook at the table we created in order to change the name of different polyatomic ions based on the number of oxygens that it has. So please refer to your notebook when we took the notes using that table. Now, from phosphate, which is PO4, to PO2, we lost 2 oxygens. So we're going to be moving up 2 and changing the name accordingly. So PO2, its name is hypophosphite. So you get the hypo prefix and the ite ending based on losing 2 oxygens. So all we have to do is write that down. So a Ga is gallium. And then PO2 is hypophosphite. Alright, we're doing okay with the spelling here. H2S. Now, we have something with hydrogen first. That means this is going to be an acid. What type of acid is it? Is it a binary or oxyacid? This is a binary acid because guess what? It has 2 elements. Okay, so how you name a binary acid is you would do hydro, and then whatever the anion is, ic acid. So we have sulfur, and then acid at the end. So hydrosulfuric acid for that. Okay, next thing. We identify this as an acid again, but this one is different. This one has a polyatomic ion in the acid. So for this, what we're going to do is find that polyatomic ion. So Cl3 is chlorate. In order to change chlorate to an acid, you're going to look at your notebook again in the chart we made for naming acids and polyatomic ions. When we have something that ends with ate, we are going to convert that to ic acid. So ClO3 is chlorate. We're going to convert this to chloric acid. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because this is something we've already known and we're just reviewing. So we're going to keep moving quick. If you have a question, please talk to me in the Teams channel and we'll go over it in more detail. Okay, N4O2. What we're recognizing here for this one is we have nitrogen and oxygen. Both of these are on the right side of the periodic table, above the stair steps. That means this is going to be a covalent compound. So for this, we're just using the Greek prefixes. So we just look at the number that we have, write the element, and then we're done. So nitrogen, we have 4. So that 4 is going to be tetranitrogen. And then oxygen, we have 2, di. And then at the ending, we change everything to ide, right? Tetranitrogen dioxide. Okay, and that's naming everything that you could possibly need to name for this unit.